All right, let's jump right in. We're about to unpack one of the biggest ideas in all of crypto, the decentralized exchange, or what everyone just calls a DEX. We're going to cover the whole thing in just about 5 minutes.
So let me just start by posing a question. What if you could trade, digital assets instantly with no bank, no brokerage, no central company taking a cut? And what if, get this, what if you could actually be the market itself, earning a little piece of every single trade? Well, that is the radical idea behind a DX. So what is a DEX really? Well, put simply, it's a peer-to-peer marketplace. It's just you and another person trading crypto directly. There's no middleman. And the whole thing is run by a special piece of code on the blockchain called a smart contract. That code is the referee. It's the trust machine that makes sure the trade happens fairly.
And that one idea, that simple concept, has kicked off a total revolution in how we think about financial markets.
Okay, so how does it actually work if there's no central order book, no company matching buyers and sellers? Well, the magic ingredient is a brilliant piece of software called an automated market maker, or AMM. It's the engine that powers the whole thing.
And you won't believe this, but the core idea, first brought to life by Uniswap, boils down to a super simple formula. X times Y equals K. That's it. This constant product formula is the secret sauce. It's what ensures that there's always, and I mean always, a price for any token you want to trade.
And here's where it gets really mind-bending, because this system lets anyone, literally anyone, become the market. It's basically a 3-step process. 1, you take 2 different tokens of equal value and deposit them into what's called a liquidity pool. 2, in return, you get these special LP tokens, which are kind of like a receipt that proves you own a piece of that pool. And 3, you just sit back and start earning trading fees from every single swap that uses your liquidity. You are now the house.
But of course, that brilliant idea was just the starting pistol. It kicked off this incredible race, a fierce battle between platforms, all trying to build a better, smarter DEX.
See, that original model, it was pure genius, but it wasn't perfect. Not by a long shot. It had some real drawbacks, especially when it came to capital efficiency. And that inefficiency opened the door for a whole wave of innovators to jump in and say, hey, I think we can do better. So 3 major players really came to define this battle, each with a unique strategy. You've got Uniswap, the OG, the all-purpose DEX for everything. Then you have Curve, which got hyper-focused and became the undisputed king of trading stablecoins. And then there's Balancer, which went in a totally different direction, letting you build these complex, customizable pools that look more like index funds.
Uniswap wasn't going to take that lying down. They fired back with a massive upgrade called concentrated liquidity. It basically lets you, as a provider, say, I think the price is going to trade in this very specific narrow range, and you put all your money there. This can supercharge the fees you earn, but there's a big but. If the price moves outside your little range, your money goes to sleep. It becomes inactive, and you stop earning fees until the price comes back. High risk, high reward.
Now, Curve's move was totally different. They didn't try to be the best at everything. They just wanted to be the best at one thing: swapping assets that are supposed to be worth the same amount, like swapping $1 peg stablecoin for another. They tweaked the formula to be perfect for that, resulting in incredibly low fees and almost zero slippage. They mastered their niche.
And Balancer, well, Balancer had this entirely different vision. This quote really says it all. They think of their pools less as trading venues and more like decentralized index funds. You, the liquidity provider, are the investor. And the traders? They're just rebalancing your fund for you with every swap they make. It's a really powerful mental model.
Okay, so earning all those fees, being the market, it sounds amazing, but it can't be a free lunch, can it? There's a big risk we have to talk about.
Yeah, that dream of passive income is real, but it comes with a major catch. And it has a very weird, very confusing name. It's called impermanent loss, IL. If you remember one thing, remember this. It's not a loss in the traditional sense. It's an opportunity cost. It's the difference in value between your assets inside the pool versus what they would have been worth if you had just held on to them in your wallet. The impermanent part just means it only becomes a real loss if you withdraw your funds at that exact moment.
I think this quote from a Reddit user just nails the dilemma perfectly. It's a constant balancing act. On the one hand, you're earning fees. On the other, you might be experiencing impermanent loss. The big question is always, will the fees you make be enough to outweigh the IL? Sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes it's a painful no.
And the biggest factor here, the one thing that determines your risk, is volatility. It's a direct link. You can see it right here. If you provide liquidity for two stablecoins that barely move, your risk of IL is super low. For assets that kind of move together like Bitcoin and Ether, it's medium. But for a really volatile, unpredictable asset paired with ETH, your risk of impermanent loss goes through the roof.
So with all that risk, why would anyone even bother? Well, this number right here is why. 3.9%. According to one analysis, that was the potential monthly return for a provider in an ETH/USDC pool. That kind of potential reward, that's exactly why people are willing to take on the risk of IL.
Okay, so you've navigated the crazy tech, you understand the risks, but there's one final challenge, one final boss for the entire DEX ecosystem.
And that final boss is regulation. It's the big, scary unknown that hangs over this entire space.
And just look at how unpredictable this is. You get a huge crypto bill that passes the House, which seems like a massive step forward, but then it just sits, stalled in the Senate. Then a major regulator drops its investigation into the biggest DEX out of nowhere. It's total whiplash. It's one step forward, two steps back, and nobody knows what's coming next.
And what you're left with is this messy, confusing patchwork of rules. At the federal level, you have different agencies literally fighting a turf war over who gets to be the crypto cop. And then at the state level, it's complete chaos. You have New York with its super strict rules, and then you have places like Wyoming basically rolling out the red carpet for crypto innovation.
All this chaos leaves us with these huge fundamental questions that no one has the answers to yet. Are the tokens that let you vote on a protocol's future a security? Can you sue a software developer for code they wrote and released for free? How can a law from one state possibly apply to a global network that anyone can access? It's a minefield.
So that brings us to the ultimate question. You've got innovation moving at light speed, but rules that are completely up in the air. Are DEXs the inevitable future of finance, a better, more open way to trade? Or are they a fascinating but incredibly high-stakes gamble? Right now, the answer is still being written, one trade, one block at a time.